When you want to hear about games and only games, look no further. This is the Games Only Podcast, your number one source for video game news, reviews, and opinions. With HP 1703.
In death, as in life, I shall honor my brothers.
Dr. Gumaer.
The boss is here at last, boys.
And myself, Sunspot.
Fresh victim.
Games Only Podcast on iTunes and YouTube.
Hello and welcome to the Games Only Podcast, episode 32. 32. I'm your host this evening, HD1703, and I have Dr. Gumaer's face on some milk cartons.
You don't know where he is.
No. To my south and west, a man who has put posters of Dr. Gumaer's face all over the neighborhood. It's Sunflower 4000.
That's me. I just want my friend back.
And to my north and west, the dock catcher, as it were, our special guest, Mr. Locke Vincent.
Hey.
I didn't know you were going to do a Doc impression. I would have pretended you were Doc the whole time.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Locke Vincent from the famous, world-renowned YouTube.com/Locke Vincent channel.
Yes, check him out on Twitter, Twitch TV, YouTube, Co-Optimus.
RedTube.
RedTube.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some games, shall we, gentlemen?
Cool. Let's dive in. Let's talk about something we've all played. What do you think?
Sounds great. I would love to.
Mass Effect 3's multiplayer.
Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
Damn this
geez.
multiplayer mode.
Sure.
What the hell? Why is it so addicting?
It shouldn't be. It doesn't have anything
I
give you.
completely wrote it off after, I was going to be like, okay, I'm done the game. I don't need to play it anymore. I got my 100% galactic readiness, and nope, I'm still playing it night after night.
There's no reason why. Because it has nothing else to give us. There are no more achievements that we can get.
Nope.
There are no more... the only thing it is the boxes. It's the loot boxes.
Yes.
That you earn. That's all.
Yes.
It's totally that. And
There's no bosses in the levels. There's nobody that you're stuck on. It's so stupid.
It's just fun, though.
Yeah, it is fun.
But damn it.
And there is kind of a void of Horde-style games. I don't know why this has supplanted Gears of War 3, though.
I know.
It should have.
Right.
Gears just got a new map pack, and we haven't touched that yet because we're still busy playing Mass Effect 3.
Yes. And I'd rather play Gears 3.
I know, we all would.
I think we all would, but are we going to? Probably not. I will probably play Mass Effect 3 after this podcast.
No!
Yeah!
I don't know what it is. I have a feeling that it's part of the lottery system with the loot. I think a big part of it has to do with the character building and the character skill sets where you can.
But there's not even much that you can do with that. It's not that flexible.
No, it isn't that flexible, but it is new to the sort of Horde experience. You can't do that anywhere else, right?
Yes, exactly.
And it's well done. It's pretty fun to just go and you want to do a run, and we honestly haven't done that much silver and gold. We've just been sitting on bronze, and we haven't challenged ourselves.
I'm ready for gold. What's up?
Well, I will be ready for gold soon, but
right. Yes.
Currently, they're doing a 25% XP boost against Reapers.
We should do that. Because I want to get that special pack. Anyways, we have had a lot of games of this together, and last night we tried with randoms, Sonny and I did, and it didn't go so well. And I think for those harder difficulties, you do need to have that communication, that constant, letting people know what you're going to do, what you're going to hit, because it is quite tactical.
Yes, indeed. And I think one of the other things that gives this an advantage is you can play one or two times and be done in 20 or 40 minutes. Each kind of round, each kind of game is only about 20 minutes long.
Because when we sit down to Gears, we're gonna want to go 1 to 50, which is a couple hours investment, right?
Yes, exactly.
This game has 4 maps.
5.
Where's the 5th?
Are you sure it's not 6 or something?
Pretty sure it's 4.
I don't know.
I thought there was 1 for each system.
No, I think there's only 4.
There's the one where you're inside the factory. There's the one outside on the chopper pad.
Favorite. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one in the desert, the satellite dish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then there's the one in
Cerberus
Cerberus. And then there's the one inside the Reaper.
What? You're making shit up.
You didn't get that? You didn't get that DLC?
Yeah. There's that one that's a bunch of connected labs as well. So
Right.
there's at least
Cerberus
5.
lab.
I thought that was Cerberus.
Yeah, that's the Cerberus lab.
Well, there's the one with the glass surrounding it, and then there's one that looks like it's in a city.
Oh, right.
I see.
Yeah,
the Blade Runner one.
Yeah, you're right. Blade Runner. You're right.
This is irrelevant. I think it's telling as well that there really isn't a variety to the maps, and there isn't a variety to the enemies, and we are still playing it.
There's not even anything cool about the maps. It's not like one of them's got this huge turbine fan on it, and you can blow people into it. Nope.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Next game.
Next game that we've all been playing?
Yep.
Fantastic. Let's talk about Call of Juarez, the Cartel.
Call of Juarez? You guys are playing that?
Why would we ever play this silly game?
We are playing it for an interwebs net web series series.
It's because I forced you guys to play it with me.
Yeah, yes. We will all be on the new season of Good Co-op, Bad Co-op, as seen on the Co-optimus website as well as YouTube. And yeah, so what is Call of Juarez, the Cartel?
It's this noise that comes out of the city, Juarez.
Uh-huh.
Call it the Call of Juarez.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, the call was directed towards a cartel.
Uh-huh.
The end.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
The way the story goes is that there are 3 agents, and I've talked about this game before because I haven't played it before alone, and I really wished I had played it with friends. Lucky for me, I managed to find a few, because it's a lot easier to get friends to get this game when it's $7, let me tell you.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy. But you're 3 different agents. One of them's FBI, one of them's DEA, and one of them's local. I believe that's their hook.
Yeah.
They've all got their own agendas. They all need to take down the cartel. And it starts off in a giant pot farm where you're trying to get 2 gangs to kill each other, and it blossoms from there. Yeah,
like the bloody spiders, I think, are fighting the severed ants. I can't remember what the 2 gang names are, but
I'm not sure.
It's nothing to write home about in terms of mechanics, but it is quite
or gunplay.
Terrible gunplay.
Yes.
It's not even a mediocre shooter, I don't think, in your standards, HP.
No, the shooting is bad. It is poorly implemented shooting. But what is so much fun is the fact that each one of these characters has a different, hidden objective. It is character specific, and they have to pick up secret stash or get a certain number of kills or something else before the other players. And so there's this weird competition, and you can catch the other players stealing when they're not supposed to. And
well, let's talk about an example of this. For instance, my character owes a lot of money because he lost big gambling. So I have to find money stacks. What did you have to find? You played the female who is the I believe the DEA agent, or is she FBI?
No, she's the FBI.
Okay.
And she is looking for new weapons tech. So there are weapons hidden in the levels that she has to pick up.
Interestingly, that sounds the most unrealistic of the bunch. I'm looking for these secret blueprints in this Mexican ghetto.
It's going to be so advanced.
And what about your guy, Locke? You had the local sheriff who don't take no shit.
He usually is looking for cigarette butts and
lies.
The snipe hunter.
and he's trying to get those. No, I usually have to pick up walkie-talkies, and sometimes I have to pick up wallets and cash. He's really just kind of a homeless guy dressed in a cop outfit. So I don't really know what his shtick is. I know I'm supposed to be on the lookout for your player, Sunflower.
Oh.
I am, well, the story, and this was not clear to me the first time I played until the game was over, but the way the story kicks off is that a bomb goes off in a police station, and all three of our characters were there, except my character had just left. He received a phone call and walked out. Then the bomb goes off and blows up and kills a lot of people. So I look a little shady, but, you know, it's up to you to decide whether or not I was.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to find out. I'm going to find that out.
Yeah, so there is this interesting meta game going on where everyone's kind of got their eye out for somebody else. When you play it with cooperatively with other human beings, I can't imagine this mechanic working at all by itself.
Oh no.
So yeah, are you getting some more enjoyment out of it this second time, Sonny? Because
yeah, the picking up the stuff, the secret things where I don't want someone to see me, it's turning out to be a lot harder than I thought. You guys are really interested in watching me, and you've caught me red-handed a few times.
We, at one point, I'm pretty sure we all went down the street, like, in a circle, just keeping the other two players in mind. Like, two of us are going backwards, and one of us is going forwards. It's
almost like a Mexican standoff.
Yeah,
movie.
Totally. It's going to come down to that.
But yeah, so this is a fun cooperative experience, even though it's not a very good game. It is not a very good game.
No.
It may run into the two human problem.
Fun with friends.
Fun with friends. And super cheap now to pick up, less than $10 used.
I started really enjoying the game a little bit after where we've gone so far. Single player, so don't write it off just yet. I'm sure HP will tell us more next time we film.
Yay! Alright, so that's Call of Juarez, the Cartel.
And it does have an adversarial multiplayer mode, but guess who's never touched that? Me.
All of us.
All of us will farm achievements from it.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know about that, man. Ain't worth it.
Okay. Yeah, so, I guess let's go on to kind of the other game I picked up cheap this week. Sonny's played a little bit of it. Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Hey, I picked that up too.
Yeah, if you were listening to this before April 7th, I believe, and you live in the United States, both GameStop and Best Buy is selling this for $10.
I went to Best Buy and they had
$20. $20. And yeah, it is definitely worth $20. I'm about 5 hours into it. I've already done one of the weird tower defense-y kind of sequences.
That sounds terrible.
And while I don't want it in this game, it's not the worst tower defense type thing I've ever played.
Yeah. I agree with that. It's not dog shit, but it's just not.
It's just
not now.
It sounds like it just breaks up the pacing so badly.
Well, it doesn't last too long, and they're pretty brief. And if you train your assassins in your little hideouts, you can make it so that your places will never come under assault, and you will never have to do it again.
Okay, so I guess that's what I'm going to focus on.
That's what I did.
Yeah, the game is still tutorializing to me. Again, I'm maybe 5 hours in, so I haven't been able to recruit assassins yet. But yeah, it plays a lot like the other Assassin's Creed games, which is both to its complement and detriment. And one of the reasons why I think it's maybe a detriment is that they have trained our minds through Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations to kind of use the controller in certain ways. And this specific iteration of the game adds a few mechanics with the hook blade, wherein you have to like run and jump and hold B, and it's not all that different, but because everything else feels so familiar, you're not even really thinking about it when you're going through the game. And so I have a feeling that I'm not going to use that hook thing hardly at all.
It'll change for you, and you'll realize how much quicker you can move with it.
Okay.
Now, are you're playing this because you've been a pretty big Assassin's Creed fan for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you're up to date. You've beat the previous ones.
Correct.
Yeah, and story-wise, Sonny, I remember you saying that it was necessary to play, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it really grows on you, and by the time you realize, you're like, oh, this is pretty much I'm going to finish Ezio's life.
Right.
You start getting kind of wistful about it. You're like, oh, I'm actually going to miss this little asshole. I remember when I got on the fight in the bridge with my fists, and I got that stupid scar.
Yeah, not very far into it, I can already see the necessity to this game if you are interested in the overall story.
I am. I like it. I like the whole sci-fi thing on that story. And
What's strange is that they put out a video after the end. It's called Embers, and you used to have to buy it. I don't know if you still have to. But it's the actual very, very end of Ezio's life, which is really, really strange, and I don't understand why it wasn't playable or it wasn't part of the game exactly. It was very weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, spoiler, Ezio doesn't die at the end of Rome. But mercifully, there's not very much to Desmond in this game, who I found incredibly bland and boring, and I couldn't care less about his story.
Yeah, it's so weird. This is now the 4th installment of Assassin's Creed, and I still don't care at all about the main character of...
I used to.
No, he's always been kind of boring. I think you got super excited after Assassin's Creed 1 because there seemed to be...
Oh, God, I did.
Yeah, there seemed to be all sorts of like cool things, cool directions that they could go in, and they kind of never have.
A little bit, but I don't think it's along the same lines as what we were feeling. They tried to do like a Lost thing at the end of Assassin's Creed 1, and you know, after
that shit worked. That shit worked on me.
You wanted to read like what the hell the writing on the wall was and all that stuff, but then after playing 2 and then Brotherhood, it's, you know, they're progressing it, but it's not to the extent that I think we wanted. I don't know if that
like, the answers are actually kind of a bummer.
Yeah, exactly.
What I had in my mind was infinitely more interesting.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but I try and collect all of those truth videos.
Yes.
And that's my favorite part, is the truth video. And after you collect them and you watch it, and you're like, oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That's all right, I guess. So
that's kind of weird, and I don't like it, but yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sonny, what?
I did pick up the multiplayer again. I sampled it again after I bought it. I was like, yeah, this is good. I wonder what achievements I missed. You know, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So I hopped into the multiplayer, and it's still interesting. It's still very interesting, and I still like it. Everyone I fight against is like max level, so you've got some diehards out there, but it's not really a big problem. You can still do a lot of good in that game without, you know, the level discrepancy mattering, because a lot of the levels that you gain, you can go all the way up to 50. The things you unlock are cosmetic changes, which are just very cool, and very, very few weapons, if any at all, are perks.
Okay, nice.
Cosmetics.
Yeah, I may eventually hop into the multiplayer because, like you said, it is so vastly different than anything else.
Now, did you play the previous one's multi at all?
Yeah, I played some Brotherhood, but not a whole lot. But I think Locke and I went in and assassinated some dudes as a...
that was good.
Yeah, that felt good. It is a satisfying multiplayer experience.
Oh yeah, when things go right or when things go wrong for somebody else, it feels really good to be like, dumbass.
Yeah.
That's just great. I'd love to get together with you guys and have a little private action.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be gross. I was just talking sex.
Okay.
Okay. Locke, what do you want to talk about here? Where do you want to go?
Feelings.
Okay, you want to talk about feelings?
Feelings.
Should we make
Feelings
you talk
only
about
podcast.
Warriors Orochi 3, or point people to your excellent review?
They can point towards my excellent review. No, I share the same sentiment as Sonny. I just wanted to mention it because I had not played a Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Warriors game since probably like 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
So quite some time ago. So I was approaching this game with basically a clean slate. And I was surprised on how much I liked it and how well it was done. And Sonny, I know we were talking before, you were saying that this is by far, the most polished, and it took quite a while to get to this point. But if you are a person who has written off the games like I had, and everyone jokes about all you do is mash X or mash A to win, it is that. The combat is simple, but it's not about it's super cathartic to just go in, kill a bunch of dudes, unlock some stuff, rinse and repeat. It was the perfect Mass Effect 3 hangover cure. I didn't want to play anything, too story-driven, although it does have a pretty cool story. You're time-traveling warriors. Who doesn't want that, right? But
right.
It's just a totally different shift in play style where you hop in, you can do a mission in like 10, 15 minutes, you do some awesome attacks, you get awesome rewards, like the unlockables are characters, weapons, you can go in, it's a really deep game with a ton of content that I don't think people should miss because they just write it off and think, those games are all the same, they're just repetitive, blah, blah, blah. If you want to get one, get this one, because it's the best one, of course. Mm-hmm. So I'm just really happy I didn't pass on it.
So it's kind of like bite-sized chunks then, you just...
Yeah, you're doing these battles, and because you can travel through time, you're trying to change the events where a certain character might not die, or, you're trying to save as many heroes for this ultimate battle at the end where you fight the end boss. So, but I've had a lot of fun with it, and I'm just again super surprised that I've liked it this much.
Well, that's great because I think there are a lot of people who have written off the series completely.
Yeah,
and it's nice. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, it's nice that the series is getting to a point where it's like, hey, people who've never played this game, maybe you should. Maybe you should try this out.
Yeah. It's fun.
I know Sonny had some trouble getting his hands on it. How did you...
Digital release on the PSN.
Okay.
So, I've looked at multiple stores for the disc copy on Xbox, since it's not on disc on PlayStation, and nobody has it.
Wow.
Speaking of discs and PlayStation, holy cow, am I excited for Tokyo Animal or whatever the hell that game is called.
Tokyo Street?
Tokyo Street? No, Japan Street.
I don't know what it's called, but it looks amazing.
Oh,
dude!
Basically, the idea behind this game is all humans are gone from Japan, and you play an animal in town, and you have to survive.
It looks awesome.
Sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good.
Cool. It's coming to Europe, so we will have an English version. One way or another, we may have to jingle jangle some PlayStation accounts around, but I can't wait.
Yeah, there's some pretty good PlayStation exclusives, like definitely niche titles like Way of the Samurai 4 as well.
Oh man, that actually looks really neat.
Yeah, so
apparently you can do home invasions and try to have sex with women.
Awesome.
Like as a gameplay mechanic.
Why do we even try anymore?
And you can even do it as a woman.
Great. Just pandering to the weeaboos.
Hey! It looks interesting.
I'm gonna sneak into this house.
How does that look interesting?
You can throw swords in people's pilgrim hats. There's all sorts of stuff.
I'm gonna sneak into this house and make this woman my waifu.
Now, I don't know if you guys remember, I played Way of the Samurai 3, and I did not understand that game. I didn't play long, and I really want to go back and revisit it. But it's an open-world samurai game, and I walked up to this woman, and she's like, ugh, you have no money. So I bowed at her feet, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to win her over. I'm going to win her over. So I'm like rubbing my face in the ground, and she's just like disgusted with me for doing that too.
Not doing any of it.
Wow, this is complicated.
Feudal Japan is some shit.
It was like the first person I saw was going to train me, but I stabbed him on accident, and he died.
Oh, no.
Oh. And the story kept going.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. You're one of the only people who I could totally see stabbing someone on accident who is very important.
Very, very important.
Oh, wow.
That's fantastic. All right. Speaking of stabbing people who are important, you've been playing some high-definition Devil May Cry, from what I hear, Sonny.
Devils never cry. Yes, I have. Last week, GameStop released it early, to the shock of everybody, because Capcom told us there's no street date anymore, so I guess you can have it.
Okay.
So I had it. And the game looks fantastic. HD really does Devil May Cry a lot of favors. It always ran in 60 frames per second anywho, so it's nice to see it in high def, and it feels so slick and so nice. I dove into Devil May Cry 2. Been a long time, but that sequel's
dog shit.
pretty much hated by everybody.
Yeah.
And I remember why. The camera angles are absolute garbage. The enemies are not very good. The targeting system is very bad. But I do like the Dante character from the second one. He's older. He's not a dick face.
Cocky bastard.
He's
not an asshole. He's just more mature and more serious, and I really like the tone of that, and I like the way that the game looked. But from a gameplay perspective, boy, what a bunch of crap. But yeah, a really nice collection. I believe it's $30, maybe $40, and I do not regret getting it because I like the old games quite a bit. It's been a while since I've played them, and boy, the first game is cheesy as hell. I forgot.
It is pretty cheesy. Like, from the boss dialogue to Dante's dialogue to, It's good, though. I remember
Devils never cry, Locke.
I know, but what are you going to do?
I was the one to fill your soul with light!
With mine! Yeah. I remember getting the first one on I have actually all three on PlayStation 2, and getting that first one and just being a part of that fast-paced combat. I'd never had that in a long, long time, because I didn't play... I can't remember if this came out after Ninja Gaiden. I think it did, but I didn't...
No, Devil May Cry was one of the almost a launch title for PS2.
Yeah, I was super excited about it, and I was blown away by the fighting mechanics, and I think it still holds up really well in terms of stylish character action fighting, you know.
Great games.
Yeah.
So as someone who is not played these games, is this collection worth picking up? If you don't have nostalgia for it, is it still worth?
At $13 a pop, sure.
$13
because there's 3 games.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good parallel.
Bayonetta. Did you play
Bayonetta? Yeah, I did.
Did you hate it? This is a little toned down from Bayonetta, which sounds insane.
Yeah.
But that's because Bayonetta was like the far end of retardedly crazy. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I said the R word. I'm ashamed of myself.
You should be.
I think it is. I don't know. I think it's the whole Devil May Cry series has been a cornerstone of this genre, and I think I don't know. I can't speak for you, but I think it's definitely something that people should be playing.
But the first and the third games are very hard.
Yeah, the third one especially. I find the third one the most difficult.
I've never beat the third one because it's one of those games where right before the end they're like, okay, and now you have to fight every boss with no breaks in between.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, all the bosses? Damn.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Cool.
I'm just simply not good enough.
I actually went through, to toot my own horn, I went through and played as Virgil. You get to play as his brother if you do New Game Plus, so that was fun.
Oh, nice.
Yep, but yeah, it's definitely a good HD port. I like it, and I think it deserves to be something that every gamer has gone through at least once.
Okay then. All right. Locke, why don't you tell me a little bit about your experience with Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet?
Oh, it's a Metroidvania game that I forgot to play. I picked it up on sale, and I totally forgot I had it. And they actually announced that it's coming to PC in, I think, 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
If you didn't get it on XBLA, you can grab it on PC. It'll be on sale probably for $10, regular price $15. But it is a very stylish Metroidvania game where you play as a small little spaceship trying to navigate your way through this, as the title says, insanely twisted shadow planet. It's very dark. It uses a lot of silhouetting. Think Limbo meets Outland, sort of.
Limboutland.
Limboutland. It's dark and uses shadows, but it also is very colorful in parts. And has a lot of highlights for like the enemies will be a dark little blob that has sort of orange highlights on it. But it's really neat. It's very distinctive, and that's one of its best features. It's fun, and I'm about halfway through. It's a very short game. It's only about 5 hours long, but that I don't know. I'm trying to clear off. I bought a bunch of games on sale off my Xbox, off the Xbox Live Arcade. So I'm trying to go through those things like Kill Team and Outland and this. So I'm sure lots of people have bought this when it was on sale, like I did, and just never got around to playing it. But it's awesome. It's a really really great looking game as well as a great playing game. It's got style and substance.
Yeah, I recall really enjoying the beginning of this game. I think you're going to find, even though it is short, the last half of the game feels long.
All right.
It gets, not to rain on your parade, but
that's fine.
I like you said, there's a lot of style, and it's kind of a fun game just to mess around in, but
it's very smooth. The control is awesome, and you get different tools to get through, to access different parts of the world, and being able to select those just at the select of a button is really neat. You can switch from like a tree cutter sort of rock grinder item to more of a laser gun, and then your little scanning weapon. It's cool, and I would like to really find some artwork with this, because I'd like to get that up on my wall, because it's one of the best looking games I've seen.
Yeah, I cannot remember who did the art, but it's someone we all recognize. Jesus. Yeah.
Right.
No, he's not an artist.
Oh, okay.
The carpenter.
Oh, that's right. That's the cup of a carpenter. So, Sonny, tell me why you went back to Halo Reach this week.
What? I found the limited edition of it for very cheap.
Okay.
And I bought it, came home, I said, wow, this is actually a really slick package. That's pretty nice. Hey, a game came with it too. I guess I'll play it. It's been a while. And I played it, did some challenges, and I said to myself, wow, why did I ever stop playing this? It's still really good. Late in the system's life, like the 360's having, it's so hard. There's so many great co-op games that come out, but nobody's got what you need them to have, and you can't really decide on something to play. That's hard.
So did you go back? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, well, that's why I started playing my arcade games, because I finished Mass Effect 3, went through as much Orochi as I played a lot of Orochi, and then, you get that feeling of gaming paralysis where you don't know what to do next. You have this stack of games on your backlog, this stack of games that have just come out, and you're like, well, shit, I don't know what to play. So, yeah. So it's out there, yeah.
So I played some more, and it's still good.
Did you play the multiplayer then, or did you go back and play the story again?
I did not go to the story. I kind of want to, but I also know it's a really big undertaking, and I was kind of underwhelmed with some parts of the story. I went through that little chapter select, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember flying through those buildings. That wasn't that fun, was it?
Interesting.
And I haven't gone back. I wouldn't mind it, though. It wouldn't be bad.
I seem to recall having some reverence for the story. I thought it was way better than I was expecting it to be.
Interesting.
Yeah, yes. You're interesting. Is that kind of it for what we've played this week, guys?
I did forget to mention I tried the new pinball. What's it called? Not Pinball Hall of Fame, but it's like Pinball Everywhere or something, where it's got classic tables. Cool system? Game, cool tables, everything. PS3, iPhone, iPad.
Well, that's what I was curious about, if you played it on iPad.
I played it on 360, and I don't own an iPad, you snooty bastard!
Aww.
But I played it on Xbox Live. The physics feel a tiny bit off, but these are very classic pinball tables, and they've stood the test of time, so they're a lot of fun. If you like pinball, definitely try the trial. It is limited only by a point total. So play until you hit a certain score, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to get more. And they've also promised over a year worth of DLC.
Wow.
So, cool stuff.
They just announced Hulk, World War Hulk pinball table for Pinball FX2.
Sweet.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome.
Very nice.
Very good.
I played a little Saints Row the Third co-op this week. I had gone through the entire campaign, single player, hadn't played it cooperative at all. And some of the kind of, I would call them annoying activities that you have to do are a lot easier with a second player. So, right. I don't know who would still be playing Saints Row the Third, but if you are, and there are activities that you find annoying, try to get somebody to come in and help you, because it goes a lot faster. Like the snatch missions and the escort missions, those kind of things that where you in single player you're just kind of driving around. But if you do it cooperatively, the other person can kind of speed things up for you. Yeah, I think that's it for what we've been playing this week. I wanted to talk a little bit about all the Kickstarters.
Sure.
It's interesting that you want to talk about them, because I donated to a couple. Well, contributed, I guess.
Let's talk about those first, then. What did you donate to and why, Sonny?
Shadowrun.
Mm-hmm.
The best one.
And I'll tell you straight up why I did it. Because
Locke told you to.
wanted... No.
What?
No. You've still told me to buy Shoot Many Robots, and I haven't done that, so...
Well, you don't. That just means you don't listen to me.
The reason I got it was because I wanted the game for $15.
Okay.
And if you donate that much, well, damn it, you get the game. So that's what I did. And I also donated to the Leisure Suit Larry HD remake.
What? Oh my god, I can't believe you did that.
I actually can't. What?
Why not? Leisure Suit Larry was a very good series all the way up until it left the PC.
Okay.
It really was.
So why did you donate to these? Because you also want that game for $15?
The good ones, yeah.
Okay, so basically...
All right, wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me go with this. All right, back in the 80s, Al Lowe made Leisure Suit Larry 7 games. Actually 6, but they pretend that 4 never existed. But after that 7th game came out in like 95 or 96... Then somebody else got the Leisure Suit Larry license and put out those dog shit games on the 360 and on the Xbox, the original Xbox and PS2, games like that, which were horrible. He got the license back and was like, I want to remake the first one. You remember the first one? I go, shit, yeah, that taught me a lot about women and how they work.
And how you should treat them.
Yeah. So, well, you know what? The first Leisure Suit Larry, if you did not have a condom and you had sex, you got killed by an STD.
Yep.
So it's good stuff.
So it's a morality play. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So your motivation for contributing to these Kickstarters is just to get these games cheaper. Is that safe to say?
That's what I'm doing, yeah.
Okay.
That's the opposite of why I have contributed.
Okay,
he
great.
Wants special stuff.
No, I don't. I want to. You guys should know that I've been wanting another Shadowrun game for the last, well, I'd say 7 years.
Million years.
Yeah, since I played Shadowrun on the Genesis, and now it's finally come to fruition. You know, like I think it's amazing that the Harebrained Scheme is the company doing this. They've managed to relicense their own game back, and they're going to make it. And I'm just elated that this is happening. Like, I couldn't be happier that a Shadowrun game is actually going to be happening. I don't know what it's going to be. I have my full faith and trust in them. And of course I want the game, but I'm really happy to be able to be part of making this new Shadowrun game a reality. In some sense, I'm like, I am helping drive the game development, in my own little way. I'm not working on the game, but it is a way to get it out. With other ones like Leisure Suit Larry, I think Aloe is just a charismatic motherfucker, and I think the Leisure Suit Larry games were great. And what are the other two big ones, like Wasteland? I think Wasteland was a huge, it was a huge game for a lot of other games. Kind of paved the way for that post-apocalyptic world, where we got our Fallouts and that sort of thing. And then, of course, the Double Fine stuff. That's kind of what kicked it all off. I didn't donate to the Double Fine one, but I did to all three of the other ones.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so we have talked on this podcast before about Kickstarter, and Sonny correctly predicted the Double Fine one would kind of kick off, puns.
I see what you did.
Yeah, thank you. Would kind of kick off other companies doing similar things. But what we haven't talked about is kind of how you guys are going to feel when these games come out. For instance, are you going to take any pride in knowing that you contributed? If the game is good, if the game is bad, how are you going to feel? That's what I'm curious about.
Do you want to answer that, Sonny?
I don't care. It's just a riskier pre-order. That's all it is to me.
Totally, and I totally see that. Like it is like pre-ordering the game, and you're going to get a copy, but you don't know anything about it. But that is where part of the sort of brand equity these guys hold, that's where it comes from. I don't think it's as risky you're not gambling as much with your money or with your pre-order when you're going with these big names who have a huge catalog and a huge lineage of games behind them. It's much more risky when you have some, student who may have an amazing idea and they've just come out of, say, tech school or college, and they're maybe they're an amazing designer or amazing programmer, and they have this wicked idea, but just have nowhere to. Maybe they didn't get hired, and they want to take the indie route, and that's a way bigger risk because you have no idea, you have no frame of reference for that person or for their company. So I find it just much more easier. It's much easier to toss my money without even. Well, I think about it, but when that Shadowrun popped up, the name holds a lot of weight with me, and knowing the developer and what they've done in the past is the same thing. So that twofold just helps it, being like, yes, please take my money, go ahead. If it wasn't Shadowrun and it was a developer who they said, oh, I made this, and this, sure, I'm more willing to do that. Than a nobody, but of course it has to be something you're passionate about, and a lot of these, all of them are basically built on nostalgia.
Yeah. So
that's true.
The developer that's doing the Shadowrun, is that the developer that did the 360 one or the Genesis one?
Both.
Oh, okay.
The guy who did the 360 one is on the team, and it's pretty funny. They touch upon that in their video too. They're just like basically apologize for having that.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I guess if you're viewing it as a pre-order and you're only paying the $15, you're not going to feel kind of an emotional connection one way or another. I guess that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, okay. So I think that's the show for this week. I want to thank our very special guest, Mr. Locke Vincent. Find him on Twitter, @LockeVincent. Find his house in Calgary, cook him some food, and then leave his house. Yes, thank you for joining us, Locke.
Thanks for having me. It's been a while since we talked.
Oh, you're a sweetheart. And I want to thank Sonny as well for being beautiful.
You're welcome.
I don't know why. That's good for him. Yeah. This has been episode 32. I've been your host, HP1703. We will see you next week.
Toodles.
Bye.
Kisses.
Cuddles.
Strudels.
Fork swords.
The cross